What's up, y'all? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy James to the O, doing an interview part 2, the second round, with my boy Antonio, the barbershop man, the haircut man, from Florida.
Yes, sir. Pensacola.
Pensacola, to be exact. All right, I'm gonna ask him about 5-6 questions, and that'll be it. My first question for you is, why aren't women submissive to their man in a relationship? For those who are not submissive, what would be your reasons of why they not?
Why they not submissive? The structure. Again, the last interview, the marriage has no substance. So, for it not having no substance, as far as the structure, the man being head, and then the woman following behind or beside, it's not. We don't do that anymore. It's just we fall back. The men fall back and let the women handle stuff and everything like that. In each household, it's going to change and everything like that. But as far as the submission, I think they looking at it like it's really a submission move, like you're getting submitted instead of submitting to the husband and falling in the role place, the structure of how everything should be ran. You know what I mean?
Because biblically speaking, it says, wives, submit to your husband as unto the Lord. Some versions will say submit because he is the head over you. Yeah. I even told my lady that. I said, look, it says it right here. You read it for yourself. The man has the authority of the relationship. Don't you agree to that?
Yeah.
If he's the head, how can you be the head and don't have authority?
I think the authority part, that word, just like the word submit, is frowned upon.
Is it a trigger word?
Yeah.
Authority?
Yeah.
Submit?
Exactly. Don't want no authority over, don't want to be told what to do or how to do it. And the submit is the same way. When it's just getting misconstrued, everything has structure. From Food for Less, the NFL, everybody got a CEO, quarterback, running back, everybody play their role. And that's simply what it is. The man is the head of the house. So if everything go good, of course he gonna look like LeBron James, but when everything go bad, everything falls on the LeBron James, the king, the head. So
the leader of the team.
Right.
And men are leaders, right?
They are leaders, but to answer your question as far as why they're not being submissive, I think it's the term. That's the answer to it. I think that word is frowned upon, just like that authority word. You see what I'm saying? You saying you have authority over me as you saying you reign over me. That's what we're hearing. It's not the case. It's you the boss, you give me the tools and the things I need to be the best employee that I can be. You see what I'm saying? But without my help, you probably can't run the business as well because you're doing your part. You see what I'm saying?
So the woman is a helpmate to a man.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, biblically speaking, a woman is created to be a man's helpmate, as he's the leader and she helps him. So as far as submissive, what about the African American women? How come? I know it's a big deal for them to be submissive. Not all of them, but there's a lot out there that's like, submit, what? Like, what would be the reason for our people or women not submitting? Is it the same reasons?
To me, I think it's like almost like what you're being taught. You know what I'm saying? My wife in particular, her dad wasn't in the house. She knew her dad. She knew where he stayed. She had a relationship with her dad. I say that to say her mama never talked down on her dad. Never, you see what I'm saying? So I think that changed the whole way she looked at things. It wasn't, you halfway gotta let me run it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let me run it. And I think in our community, they're not being raised like that to be submissive, you know what I'm saying? and to let you run the household. I think they dealing with more standing on that independent.
I like to think of slavery, the William Lynch disease, being taught to go against your own kind. Man, woman, boy, girl, different brown skin tone colors of your skin. Mass incarceration of the 1970s, where the woman was forced to be the head of the household over the children, while the man was locked up or eliminated or on drugs or whatever. Eliminate the black man and force the black woman to be the head.
That system.
And it'll be a dysfunctional household. So when that little girl grows up, all she knows is what mom taught her. But mom don't know about submissive either, so the daughter's not gonna know either.
Well,
and it just gets passed on from generation to generation.
Feeding off what you said as far as the slavery thing, I think that our black queen was disappointed in us. Actually, I think they thought we could get them out that situation. You see what I'm saying? And that was a situation when we were sold, and when we came over here on that ship, it was pretty much a wrap. You see what I'm saying? But I do think I think it's a lot of bitterness in thinking that we didn't do nothing to better the situation. You see what I'm saying? We didn't help. We didn't, and I think we didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? But I think that's where that comes from, as far as I think they disappointed us, man. Mad. You know what I mean? And you can kind of tell if you have social media and you read comments and you see what's going on as far as the marriage between black and black. We are not coming together. It's clear that we sound angry at them and they sound angry at us. You see what I'm saying? It's just a bickering thing going on. And it's sad, you know what I mean? But that's the state where we're at with it.
Well, I notice also that there are a lot of women that are running the household.
I think, again, if you fall back.
If a man falls back.
If you fall back, it will get ran by the woman, period. You see what I'm saying? A woman is going to test you to see if you're going to do what you say you're going to do. If you don't do it, she's not going to wait to see if you're going to do it. She's going to do it. You see what I'm saying? And now, even saying it like that, is that her fault? No. So with them running the household, is because we're not running. You see what I'm saying? If you ain't going to cut the grass, I'm going to cut it.
It is a man's world. Well, they better act like it.
And you got to make it, it's your house. If it ain't your world, at least it's your house. Run your house.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? But if you do fall back, you can't expect her to not just let everything crumble.
Are you the man in the house, or are you the man of the house? It's different. But yes, my other question for you is, I asked this question before to other people, and some people just take it left field. What is the difference between a man taking care of his wife as opposed to a man taking care of his little daughter? What would be the difference?
My kids in general, I have one daughter, 3 boys. What I'm here for them to do is they're an empty glass. I'm here to fill them up with as much knowledge as I can within that adolescent stage, because when they hit 13, 14, they kind of stop listening. So while they're real little, I'm trying to fill them up with as much integrity and letting them know who they are and trying to explain to them what's going on around here while they're listening. You see what I'm saying? I want my daughter to not be in situations, not to put herself in the situations, not to be around the crowd where she get herself put in a situation where something can happen. My wife is grown. I can't get my wife out of them situations no more. She know how to not get herself in them situations. What I'm there for with her is an emotional type situation that I had to understand how to do it If my wife came at me and she said she was feeling a certain way, me, if I couldn't handle it, I would kind of get angry, or I would just not acknowledge it. This would make her mad. Now what I do is, if it's an emotion that's getting brought to my attention, I would acknowledge that emotion, ask her how I can help her with that emotion. If I can, I can. If I can't, I can't. The difference is with my daughter, after she says I can and can't help her, I'm still going to try to help her. My wife, being at her age, I'm gonna leave it alone. This is kind of her letting me know, just leave me alone, let me be, I'll come back with it later on. That's the difference with that. I'm trying to teach my daughter stuff and put her on to stuff that could happen. Me and my wife, I ain't teach her nothing. Me and her helping each other to get forward in life. We just sit there and we listen to each other. You know what I mean? We don't halfway agree, you know, but the respect part is that we do listen, you know what I mean? And I do respect the fact that she has a different of opinions, but these difference of opinions been there since we've been together. So, but the difference with me is I'm not trying to fill my wife up with knowledge. I'm picking her brain, she picking my brain, and we trying to figure out where we're gonna move forward with this marriage and with these kids. My daughter, my sons, I'm filling them up with as much knowledge as possible while they're listening. You see what I'm saying?
Is it important that men have emotional intelligence?
Yeah. This is what I'm going to say. In the black community, the emotion that I notice that black men are in tune with, the one is anger. So if something go wrong, we get angry. Even if something go right, we get angry. This is the emotion that we know we're in tune to. It come out in the form of, excuse my language, but I'll beat your ass. That's what the emotion is. Mm-hmm. Men and women get emotional. When women get emotional, they look crazy. When men get emotional, we go to prison. It's full of emotional dudes. They can sit there and act like they're not emotional. It was an emotion that got you to that situation. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's important for us to be in tune with it, because if we're not, this anger turns into rage, turns into the penitentiary. My own personal experience. You understand what I'm saying? I had to go through counseling and everything to be in tune with the fact that I had rage. I didn't even know I had rage. And then going to more sessions and everything like that, this is simply me not being in tune with the emotions that I'm having. You see what I'm saying? And it come out in the form of the we might call the women bitter. You know what I'm saying? And we have rage. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. So I think it is important for us to at least know the emotions that we're dealing with. The decipher, you know, like I tell the kid when I'm cutting hair, when I hit the back of that neck, does it hurt or does it tickle? Now, regardless if it hurts or tickle, their first word is ouch. But they're not in tune, they don't know how to articulate that it's a tickle, it's not necessarily a hurting thing. So now that we understand that it tickles, what I tell them is you can laugh, but don't move. You see what I'm saying? But even as a kid, you don't know. And then we grew up in the 80s and 90s where, as a black man, you couldn't show these emotions. You see what I'm saying? That was that was weakness. You see what I'm saying?
When a man shows emotion, that's weakness. Back in the 80s. So is it that way to this day?
Everything changed. Everything changed. You can show emotion as a man nowadays. You know what I mean? They even want to tell you what masculine and feminine is. You see what I'm saying? So I say that to say you can show it. You know what I mean? I think what we need to do in our generation is explain to our kids how to show it. Let me explain what I'm saying. My kids, you can't just cry for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? My boy, if you go out there, you stump your toe, you jam your finger, okay, I understand why the tears. But your mama telling you to go wash them dishes, now your face full of tears, this is not a crying situation. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got asked to do something you can't cry in my house because you got asked to go wash the dishes. You see what I'm saying? This makes absolutely no sense. You know what I mean? So I don't mind you crying, but it got to make sense to me, baby. You can't just be crying just because we asked you to do your chores. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. We got chores and orders to do. Do it.
Right.
They crying because they don't want to do it.
I know some people gonna look at this and they like, when does crying make sense? What I'm saying is because if you don't get control of that emotion while we in the house, these are the same kids that's in Target cutting up because the parent told them to wait on the toy. Not no, but wait, let me get my groceries, then we gonna go get this toy. But then they cutting up, screaming and stuff like that. That's because we didn't get control of this emotion at the house. Look, you can't cry over anything, bro. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion on that.
I go along with you. I believe that men should have emotional intelligence so they could be able to be fully aware of any situation, right, within their own emotions as well as with their woman's emotions and children, if any. Mm-hmm. And then you know how to deal with the problem without yourself as a man being emotional too.
And let me say something. I know you doing the questions, but I want to say something because we talking about emotions and women out there. Y'all got to stop thinking we can read y'all mind. We can't read y'all mind. Mm-hmm. So if you want us to cater or deal with the emotion, you have to put the emotion on the table in our face. Because we don't know how to read between the lines. I'm just telling you.
Next question. How do you feel about men and women who call themselves alphas? Alpha male, alpha female. What's your thoughts on that?
I call myself a king. You know what I mean? Right now, everybody could be the pronoun they want to be. If you want to be an alpha, male or female, to each his own. A lot of people just using these words. They hear it, it sound good. That's my own personal opinion. Me, I don't consider myself an alpha male, but I don't consider myself a pushover either. So you not just finna tell me what to do and everything like that. You not even just going, like if I go to church and hear a sermon, I'm not just going off what the preacher say. I'm gonna go and study for myself and everything like that. This is just me. I don't care about the alpha male and everything like that. Me personally, the way I live in my life right now, I'm searching for knowledge and understanding. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for. If you think you're alpha, then you're alpha. You know what I mean? If that's what you really feel like you are, that's what you are. The way I feel about it, as far as people saying it and everything like that, again, we're living in a world where literally you could be whatever you want to be.
Well, too bad it's not realistic.
That ain't realistic, but I'm saying this is really what it is. You know what I mean?
How I feel about people who call themselves alphas, my one message I'm gonna say is, you're not an alpha. If you gotta self-proclaim what you are, mm-hmm. and no one could validate that, vouch for you, or witness it, or give a testimony to support your self-proclaiming, you're not that. And the definition of an alpha, I was talking to some guys in the gym this past week, said, look, the definition of an alpha is not a human being, it's a animal, a wolf creature. Oh, them, and you have the male wolf over here, and you have the rest of the pack over here, they following that wolf. That wolf is the alpha male. And notice that in the animal kingdom, the alpha is the male species, not the female. Mm-hmm. I never seen a female wolf lead the pack. There's always a male wolf leading the pack. That's why he is the alpha. Mm-hmm. That's in the dictionary Greek meaning for the wolf, the leader of the wolf pack. So when men and women refer themselves as alphas, they think they're dominant, superior, aggressive, and the top dog, and want to run things. And when I hear a woman say she's an alpha, no man really wants a female that's an alpha. Because it's a conflict of interest. Because if the man is the head, how are you the alpha?
Well, I mean, people, that's why I say it's a word. If you go off the definition, you can't even be an alpha.
Who comes first in a man's life? Wife, mom, daughter, and other.
Me?
For you, who comes first in your life?
I'm a God-fearing man.
You're a God-fearing man.
I'm a God-fearing man. I wake up, and that's the first thing, whatever you say, I talk to him before you cut the camera on. You see what I'm saying? I talk to him before I ask my wife about the decision making that we gonna have. So whenever any of these religious people or whatever holler about a relationship, I have that. I don't walk in the building, but I do have a personal relationship with God. So to say that it's gonna be God first, then family.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't God, then wife, it's family. All of them, wife, kids, all of them on the same page. I'm a ride or die for anybody in that house, period. You see what I'm saying?
God first, family second, and they say everything else is third. But the reason why I asked that question, who comes first in a man's life? Yes, God is given. But then you have wife, mom, daughter, and other. I asked that question, so I really want to ask this. Who's your next of kin, if you have all those?
My next of kin?
Who will be the man's next of kin if he has a wife, mom, daughter, and other?
Yeah.
Who will be your next of kin?
Probably my brother.
Your next of kin is your spouse. When you marry, you are as one. That's biblically written. And also it will say that you are one flesh. So your next of kin will be your spouse. Not your children, not your mama, not your daddy, not your brother, sister, not your daughter, but your spouse. Now, if you was not married, then whoever is close to you related, then that would be your next of kin. But once you marry, your spouse, going both ways, is your next of kin. Because if your spouse dies, you become the widow. And then when it comes to trying to access like assets and all this other stuff, banking account information, whatever, you got that death certificate, marriage certificate, that you are the widow, they give you access to all that. The kids can't get it, nobody else can get it. Unless there's something written or whatever, but other than that, the widow gets all of that. Because you are the next of kin. Make sense? When you marry, you are as one. Okay, the things that men look for in women and the things that women look for in men. You know where you can find it?
Where I can find it? Nah.
Give you a hint. What's today?
What's today? October 20.
The day, not the date.
Oh, Sunday.
Sunday.
You talking about church?
Well, what they read in church?
The Bible. You talk. So you say what they're looking for in a man and woman in the Bible?
Like as far as like a relationship, if you ask a woman, what is that you look for in a man? Or if you ask a man, what is that you look for in a woman? You notice that all the answers, everybody say the same answers, but it's all coming from.
But okay, so what answers do you hear when they say what they looking for? Cause like I be hearing.
I asked a woman what she looking for in a man, and she's gave me a whole list of what she looking for. I want a man that's aggressive. I want a man that's assertive. I want a man that's dominant. I want a man that's masculine. He's a protector. He's a leader. He's a provider. Everything she's saying, he has to be romantic. He has to be, all these personality characteristic traits that we look for in each other, man or woman, woman or man, it's already written. Because God made a man a certain kind of way. God made a woman a certain kind of way, to the point where this is what y'all looking for in each other. Oh, I want a woman that could cook, clean, and do this and do that, great sex, and she gotta be beautiful, fine, and blah. And she's a helpmate. Everything's in the Bible. That's what you're looking for. It was designed that way for you to want that. And when I ask a woman, what is a virtuous woman? Oh, they get lost. They don't know what that is. There's a lot of women out here that don't know what a virtuous woman is. For those who are Bible readers, Proverbs chapter 31, the noble characteristics of a woman, aka the virtuous woman. You ladies read that, Proverbs 31, and it'll tell you everything you need to know on how to be a wife. You're the organizer. You make sure the house is good, clean, food's cooked. It says that breakfast needs to be made ready before dawn, basically before the morning, sunrise. But if not, as long as breakfast is made, and then you take care of the home. He takes care of the bills and makes sure things are financially good, stable for you to stay there. Do you agree that things that men and women want in each other is in the Bible?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're not what you're
reading it no more.
Even though they don't read it, they still want it. So a woman had told me that the Bible is sexist. Do you think the Bible is sexist?
I think don't nobody read nothing no more, and they just going off what everybody else saying.
Because
I think, because you read it, right? I think with that lady, that list she gave you was somebody else's list. Yeah. I think she told you what she heard. You see what I'm saying? We all walk around here doing the same thing. They say you don't know where you're coming from until you know where you're going. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just saying what they heard. They don't know what virtuous mean. They don't know what they looking for. They ain't read the Bible. They just going off what they heard, and they so many years of being here on this earth. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah. And if you ask them 2 weeks from now, it will change.
This is why I like to help out men. Because it's important that men know what women want without you even asking what they want or look for. I had a video about 50 things that women look for in men. Holy cows. And I played it. A couple women started laughing. I said, what's so funny? Because just about everything you said is true. We look for all those things in a man. Like we're held to a high standard when it comes to dealing with women. Mm-hmm. We have to be able to understand them, know what they want, work on ourselves, our personality. And then I'd be hearing about these 1% guys, the guys that are rich, make a lot of money. They the ones that get the girls. Everybody else don't. Well, that ain't true. So I think about the 1% versus those who are not. Mm-hmm. What do you think of that?
I mean, to me, how am I know what you want if you don't know what you want? A lot of them sound confused, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's just, you know what I mean? It's don't nobody know what they want. You gotta know what you want before you tell. And then when you do tell me again, you telling me somebody else's list. You're not telling me what you really want. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of what we go wrong is we give this person that you want to see when we're courting and when we're, you know, trying to be the boyfriend and girlfriend. And then I think when you get with them and you got them, the true individual come out. You see what I'm saying? And this brings forth confusion because now you trying to either try to change this person or whatever. And then if you could go my route, which I was guilty of this, I tried to change my wife and then I changed her to the person that I didn't want her to be. You see what I'm saying? So you can get, you feel what I mean? We all have our own perception of what marriage is. You see what I'm saying? Me personally, I grew up in a house with a mama and daddy. They didn't really argue in front of me. You see what I'm saying? Of course, everybody argued. They didn't really argue in front of me. I say that to say, when me and my wife got together and we argued, I thought it was the end of the world. Because I didn't see it so much growing up. So I'm like, man, this ain't right. Our marriage is just totally wrong. You know what I mean? Which that ain't the case. It's growth and everything like that. But a lot of people don't know what they want. They don't know what they want.
They know what they want because somebody else told them what they want. So they're like,
somebody
okay,
else,
I want it too.
Somebody else planted the seed. It ain't no different than me watching the movie. You see what I'm saying? And at the end of the movie cut off and it's happy ever after. You know what I'm saying? But in real life, the movie keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It don't stop right there. But we want that life that we saw, and it's a facade. And then if I sit here and I talk to you at lunch every day and you tell me about how good your marriage is and everything like that, and I'm not married, I might, after a certain few weeks, want to be married. And I assume it's going to be like your marriage. Then I get married and it's this whole nother thing. That ain't your fault. That ain't her fault. Mm-hmm. I put this in my own head. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this what we do. It ain't necessarily nothing wrong for you thinking the way you thinking, but it is a right and wrong way to do things, though. You know what I mean?
Okay, nice. So, well, pretty much everybody's looking for what God designed the opposite gender to be. If you ain't that, it's going to throw things off. Like, okay, so if God made a man to be the head, the leader, the protector, the provider, he's not doing these things, so the woman be like, I'm confused. Like, well, you ain't got the right one. So you might want to find out somebody who is. And it goes both ways, but yeah. So I've learned that women like to say that there's a lot of men that don't like women, they hate women, they dislike women, but they like their body parts. But they don't like them, per se. What do you think of that?
You say what now? The women?
A woman told me, she said, you men don't like women. Like, whereas we do, y'all hate it, y'all dislike it, whereas we say or do, but y'all want to have sex with us though, but y'all don't like us. Y'all rather be out with y'all homeboys, your male friends, and be with your girl. But I don't think y'all really like women. Y'all just like women for sex, but y'all don't like the woman as a person.
I just think she had a dude that just was an info and wanted to have sex all the time. For a woman to think a man walking around here thinking about sex 24/7, that's just stupid. We got things to do.
All you men want to do is F us. All y'all care about is sex. Y'all care about this and that. But y'all...
It's on the mind, but that ain't the only thing on the mind. And then I'm 43. I don't, you know.
When a woman say that all men want to do is just smash, here's my philosophy. Sex and intimacy is 70% of the relationship. If there's no sex, there's no intimacy in a relationship, the relationship is dead. And a lot of men think money's going to save them. I like the idea of, yeah, money do this and money do that, but there are certain things that money cannot do for you. Do you agree to that? Mm-hmm. Money can't save your sex no good. I'm sorry, money can't save you from that. Yeah, she'll love you, yeah, she'll still be there. Why? Because you have money, you're a great financial provider, but you can't provide in bed. She's gonna find somebody else who can provide in bed, because biblically speaking, a man has to be able to sexually please and satisfy his woman. It's written. And if you can't do that, another man will. Your money can't save you. That's why I say sex and intimacy is 70%. And also, biblically, it say that intimacy brings things together. So if you're getting that closure, that closeness, sex and intimacy, they're not the same, but one can lead to the other. If you got them both together, you combine it together, you have a better chance of winning that woman over as opposed to just money. Now, if you got the whole package, that's even better. Can't lose, hopefully. But for women to say that, oh, you men don't like women, I'm probably thinking they figure the way they are, certain things they do that they don't like.
Well, first off, she's talking negative. She's putting that into the universe, so that's what she's attracting. she's saying that men don't like women just for her body part. So that's what she's attracting. She's attracting the men that's only looking at her body.
Oh.
Cause that's what she putting out there.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna say this, and I ain't trying to put her out there, but I got a friend used to tell me, ain't nobody gonna marry me. And I said, that's how you talk on the first date? And she said, yeah. I say, well, he will never ask. Because you told him you're gonna say no. So even if he even thought about asking, he would never ask because he thinks you're gonna say no. You see what I'm saying? So stop saying that. Stop saying ain't no man gonna marry me. And for God's sake, stop making that the topic of conversation on the first date.
On a first date, that's wild.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. Some of it ain't the opposite fault. Some of it are fault. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some things is what are you doing wrong? You feel what I mean?
He ain't doing this, he ain't doing that. And I asked this one woman, well, okay, he ain't doing these things. And he gets with another woman, he's doing everything that you complain about to the other woman.
He got the right woman.
Which lets me know you not that girl.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you was that girl,
he would have did it.
This wouldn't even be a conversation. You'd be happy, like, oh yeah, he's doing everything he's supposed to do as a man. Us men, we know what to do. Especially if we got a woman that we really want to be with, that we really like, that we really care about, it's going to naturally come out of him to do it without any questions. And if he's not doing it, chances are you are not that girl.
You got to accept that. It's a hard pill to swallow.
So that means you got to correct yourself, fix yourself. Okay, well, what am I doing wrong to not be that girl? Are you a helpmate? The man's supposed to help me. See, there it go. Biblically speaking, the woman is the helpmate. The man is the leader. Oh, you trying to be a leader, but that's his job to be a leader. Oh, you trying to take his position. And there's some men out there that will literally argue and fight with the woman for his position. I tell men, don't fight. Let her have it. You just move on and be with somebody else. Mm-hmm. She can have it with somebody else. Let her be somebody else's headache, not yours. I'd be damned if I got to fight a woman for my position in a relationship between man and woman. I'm not doing that. God appointed me to be this. That's what it's going to be. I'm not selling for less. I'm not demoting. No. I'm the head. I'm the leader. I run this. Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. Either accept it or not. The chain of command is real simple.
You have to do what your purpose is. You have
God,
to do what your purpose is.
Man, woman,
right.
Child. That's
I tell everybody where we going wrong with this marriage thing is we trying to compare each other. You can't compare the male to the female and vice versa. That's the first thing we going wrong. You need to stop doing that. In the first book of the Bible, where Adam and Eve, God told Adam not to bite the apple. He did not tell Eve not to bite the apple. Adam told Eve not to bite the apple. But they didn't know it wasn't a sin until Adam bit the apple. So again, I say, men out there listening, she could do it. You can't.
You can't, because God gave you the order.
You can't bite the apple. If she want to bite the apple, let her bite the apple. But you can't bite the apple.
Nothing happened until
you bit the apple.
Adam bit the apple.
That's all I'm saying.
Then the world changed.
So if you don't believe the structure, believe it after that story. He gave the head authority. He told him, he gave him specific instructions. When he broke that rule, that's when the whole world changed. That's when the whole world changed. It wasn't when Eve did it.
And they both got kicked out the garden.
And they sure did. Yes, they did.
And then God said,
and both of them had repercussions for doing it.
Now you will for sure die.
Yes.
Now we're guaranteed death in life.
It's in the Bible. All you gotta do is pick it up and read it. You ain't gotta listen to your pastor every Sunday. It's right there. It's in your grandmama's house, your house. Pick it up, read it for yourself. It's in there. It tell you. You know what I mean? You don't have to believe my interpretation on it. Read it for yourself.
The chain of command is there too.
It's in there. It tell you.
So fellas, if a woman disagree with the chain of command, she's not for you.
And again, you do what you supposed to do. Let her do what she want to do. You do what you supposed to do. You have purpose.
Yep. It's the man's job to lead. If he can't lead, he better learn how to be a leader. Male mentor, something. Somebody to help him along the way on how to be a leader.
Right. And even when you listen to this story with Adam and Eve, it say another thing in his book. It kind of show you that the woman will go against the grain. He told her not to bite it. She knew she wasn't supposed to bite it, and she bit it anyway. Now this entity, this snake or whatever you want to call it, he was in her ear, and Adam let him do that. But what I'm saying to the fellas, the men out there, they're not always going to jump aboard from the jump. But with that being said, you still had instructions, regardless if she jumped on the boat or not. You still have your instructions to follow, and that's what you need to follow. If you don't follow them instructions, all these questions he asking me as far as her running the house, her not submitting, this is what happens if you don't follow the instructions. You're going to get, she going to go against the grain.
Last question. Real simple. Are men and women equal to each other? Why or why not?
I think you equal to me as far as standing on the side of me, just like we do when we walk down the aisle. Again, I am the head of the house, but you can stand next to me. We could walk around side by side. We could be equal like that. That's, you know what I mean? I'm not saying you lower than, you know what I mean? But I do believe we all have a purpose. We all have a certain job. The moon, the sun, the sun. You know what I mean? It's the same with everything down here. It's the same with everything down here. You don't see the dirt arguing with the flowers and saying who's this and who's masculine and who's feminine. That ain't how it go. We doing that. We putting other rules to it. And when we continue to put them other rules to it, we gonna see how the world turns out. It's in chaos. The house in chaos, the church in chaos, everything in chaos, because everybody want to be equal to. I'm not equal to the president. I'm a regular old person. So we can sit here and we can do this all day long on the roles and who equal and everything. It's positions, period. You have a quarterback, but you got a first string quarterback and you got a second string quarterback. Both of them not on the field at the same time. Both of them are quarterback. They're equal. But one starts and one is second string.
I like to say no, they're not equal, man and woman. They have their own responsibilities, different roles, different duties. The man being a leader alone makes it not equal. Appointed by the man above. Because a woman is born with value, a man isn't. He has to work his way. A woman can just be pretty and walk down the street or be somewhere in an environment and she'll have plenty of opportunities come to her because she's a pretty girl. A guy, he gotta have a house, a home, a car, this, that, education, make a lot of money, have some status, got something going on for himself. I like to say that women date up and men date down. Do you agree to that?
I think in general, I like who like me.
Yeah. I like who like me.
My wife liked me and she showed interest. So I was interested. You see what I'm saying? I'm not no chaser. I'm not no, hey, here I am. Nah.
Did Adam chase Eve?
No?
No?
Nah, Eve was giving it Adam.
I'm saying, did Adam have to run and chase Eve to get her?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't.
Eve was given to him. Huh?
That was his gift.
That was his gift. But wait, where's the prize? Where's the prize?
Who the prize?
The woman.
Oh, I mean.
Look, the women say they're the prize. They're not a gift, they're prizes. So if that's true, who was the prize winner? Where's the prize winner at? Because every prize got a winner.
You know.
A woman is a gift from God to a man. So a woman is a gift from God given to a man. Adam did not chase after Eve. So therefore, fellas, stop chasing women. Adam didn't do it. Why are you doing it? Just saying. But anything else you'd like to say or ask before we conclude this interview?
Oh no, I just appreciate you having me on here for the second time. I like your platform, you know what I mean? I like what you got going on, and I appreciate you having me on again, bro.
Yep, your boy James to the O with Antonio Garda, Barber Man.
Yes, sir.
Nice seeing you again.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks a lot. And we out.